Over 700 medical studies sustaining these benefits. Not only are average people benefiting from the power of Ganoderma lucidum, even trusted medical professionals like Dr. Watts are challenging the traditional ways they approach medical treatment of their patients by prescribing Ganoderma.
My initial thoughts about the natural herb Ganoderma lucidum, I thought it was a joke. The biggest surprise for me when I tried Gano myself was I started believing in natural herbal medicine. It was a drastic shift in my thinking in medicine. The results that I witnessed in a patient that I did start it on was a 12-year-old girl who I had previously 6 months before diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is meaning that she's having to use insulin on a daily basis, several times a day. After 4 months of continuing with the supplement, with the Ganoderma lucidum, this patient went from a type 1 diabetic, which is injecting herself on a daily basis with insulin, to actually a type 2 diabetic, in which her diabetes is controlled by medication, by oral medications. It's unheard of for a type 1 diabetic to go to a type 2 diabetic in just that short time frame. I mean, it's unheard of.
As we grow older, we first face problems due to cardiovascular disorders. Blood viscosity will increase, blood flow will slow down, and the amount of fatty substances such as cholesterol and triglyceride will slowly increase and accumulate on the wall of the blood vessels. As the deposits on the wall of the blood vessels gets thicker, it leads to diseases such as arteriosclerosis, hardening of the coronary arteries, thrombosis, and so on. The narrowing of blood vessels and an increase in blockage obstructs the blood flow and prevents a good blood supply from reaching the heart. This in turn leads to pathological changes such as coronary heart disease, angina, pectoris attack, and changes in the artery system. Certain muscle tissues also age or even deteriorate due to insufficient nutrients from the blood supply, and this leads to pathological changes in the same organs. All this leads to aging problems. The triterpenes found in Longhaw logwood lingscher are able to improve blood circulation and significantly reduce the amount of fatty substances in the blood, such as cholesterol and triglyceride. This in turn helps to prevent heart disease, hypertension, hyperlipoid syndrome, hardening of the coronary artery, and other coronary heart diseases. Studies where mice were given intravenous injections of the Longhaw logwood lingscher have shown that lingscher can indeed improve blood circulation of cardiac muscle and help overcome any cardiac muscle deficiency. Lingscher can also significantly reduce the symptoms of angina pectoris and provide protection for the heart. The effects mentioned just now are consistent with the records of the ancient Shen Nung Herbal Classic that it cures the accumulation of pathogenic factors in the chest, good for vital energy in the heart, including mental activities, and it tones the spleen. Pharmacological research has shown that lingscher has a calming and sedative effect on the nervous system. It is particularly effective in the treatment of neurasthenia and insomnia. It can help to improve sleep and appetite, enhances vital energy, improves the memory, and helps regain vitality. All this with no side effects at all. Lingscher has an obvious effect on enhancing the immune system. Researchers have also shown that lingscher is high in organic germanium, triterpenes, and polysaccharides. These are active components that enhance the immune system of the human body. Cells like T lymphocyte and macrophage are important immunity cells. The active components of lingscher can strengthen lymphocyte and macrophage, destroy abnormal cells like cancerous cells, and as a result, help in the prevention and treatment of cancer. Besides the effects of strengthening macrophage and lymphocyte that kills cancerous cells, the organic germanium, polysaccharides, and triterpenes can also enhance the composite of the two types of cells individually and release the tumor necrosis factor, or TNF, and interferon. TNF and interferon can further destroy cancerous cells.
My old doctor never told me that I was diabetic, and as a result of which my left foot, I developed what is called neuropathy. And neuropathy is the hardening of the veins. My left foot became twice the size of my right foot. The color was reddish violet. I was in constant pain. I couldn't put my shoes, and most of the time I had to use my cane. A friend of mine by the name of Rick DeLuca, who is connected with Ganoderma, saw me one day, and he told me about Ganoderma and offered me, as a matter of fact, he gave me a box of oatmeals. I went to my doctor and told her about this, and she told me not to believe it because as far as she was concerned, she didn't believe in anything that was herbal. But because I was in constant pain, I decided to try it anyway. So lo and behold, after a month and a half, I noticed that my foot started getting better. I had to go and see my doctor again because I do my regular blood test. And she asked me, says, what have you been doing? I said, why, doctor? He says, well, how come your sugar has gone down and all your other organs, there's been a tremendous improvement? I said, I haven't done anything except that I've been taking the oatmeal that you told me not to take. And she says, oh, is that so? Well, he says, I'd like to do a more extensive test. I want you to continue taking, at this time I was taking the chocolate. He says, I want you to continue taking this, and I want to give you an extensive test after two months. And I want to find out if there's been, your other organs have been affected by this. But to make a long story short, after 2 months, which was just about a month and a half ago, I got my test, and the report said that everything, my sugar from 180, 190, it was down to 106. My liver has been improved. All my organs were perfect, and she was amazed. And my left foot is the same size as my right foot. I'm no longer, the color of my left foot is normal. I can use shoes. I have a lot of energy. I also had what they called the liver spots on my hand. These were spots that usually old people have. Remember, I'm 86 years old. They're all gone, completely gone. My skin has improved. I have color. Another thing, and people tease me about this, my hair's gotten darker. So that's my story, and boy, am I so happy.